What's up YouTube, I'm Twisted, and today is the third day of spoiler season for the next expansion of Legends of Runeterra. So I'm not expecting anything crazy here, but there have been some news and some leaks regarding new content that is coming to the game, so I'll be talking about that after reacting to today's cards. Alright, so capsize, we got Swain's Boat, the Leviathan, those who Minan's arm shall find rest at the bottom of the sea, River Shaper. Okay, River Shaper is a follower. Gentleman's Duel. On guard, my friend. Surely you are not coward enough to refuse a gentleman's duel, Laurent Chevalier. And we can see here the Laurent Chevalier. Bursting Backpack. Rule 207. A scout never carries more than she needs. Ava Achiever. So we can see here a path cap, there's a gem here, a chime as well. I assume this is Ava's backpack. Skip. King of the Reef. Yeah, I'm handsome, quick, unflappably cool. Don't you know, old man? I'm the king of this reef, and you're trespassing in my kingdom. Wait, come back here this instance. I need that specimen for my research. Conchologist. So yeah, we can see here the conchologist and the curious shellfolk, and seems that Skip is stealing from the conchologist, and that's likely because his effect is about stealing a card from the enemy, in this case actually stealing from the enemy's hand and capturing it, and I wonder if this would be related to Silas in some way, right? Silas obviously known for stealing spells from other mages, both, in the lore and also in League of Legends, so having a mechanic like this where Silas steals an opponent's spell could work, but it feels a bit niche. I'm not sure if this is actually teasing Silas. Defenders of the Sun Disk. We are the keepers of the everlasting desert, the living history, the walkers of the path of radiance. We kneel before the Sun Disk and naught else, so that the world will kneel before Shurima's glory. Azir. So we got a soldier from Shurima. Their design is very similar to the Sand Soldiers, which makes sense because the Sand Soldiers are supposed to be based on the real soldiers of Shurima. Their shields seem to be based on the shields from Azir's ultimate in League. The most interesting thing about this card is that they are introducing two mechanics to the Shurima region that were exclusive to other regions, these being Elite, which were exclusive to Demacia, and Daybreak, which was exclusive to Targon. I've been having this idea for a while that Shurima would make a lot of sense to have Daybreak because, well, the Sun Disk, right? Nightfall is already present in more than one region, those being Targon and the Shadow Isles, so it makes sense for Daybreak to not be exclusive to Targon, and out of all the regions, Shurima just makes the most sense. General of the Dunes. The vast armies of Shurima stand ready to prove the might of the desert. When the order is given, okay, they advance without hesitation. This especially really looks like Azir's ultimate. And yeah, this is really cool. I feel like I've seen this helmet somewhere, maybe on another of Azir's cards, I'm not sure. So yeah, this is another Elite and another Daybreak unit in Shurima. I'm looking forward to what this means for the region. Watery Grave. For some of Runeterra's deepest sea monsters, a Joel ship is a light snack. Okay, so we can see here the Terror of the Tides as well as the Joel Hunters. I love seeing characters from previous sets coming back. Lonely Chime Slime. Don't worry about that ominous ringing. It's just old Chime Slime making his rounds. He's always happy to see new arrivals, but they sure aren't happy to see him. Okay, this is clearly one of Bard's followers, at least gameplay-wise, and we can see here Grave Companion. Grave Companion's effect synergizes well with Lonely Chime Slime's effect, but I'm not sure if you want to play Bard with Shadow Isles, right? Maybe the next Shadow Isles champion will synergize with Bard in some way, especially if it's Vex, but we'll get to that in just a bit. Headmistress Telzi. Headmistress Telzi's class on personal discipline is rife with arduous assignments, wrist slapping, and detention slips. It has always been mandatory for students at the Ravenblue Conservatory, otherwise nobody would enroll. This obviously takes place before Annie burned the school down. We can see here Spellslinger and Annie as well. And I think this is the first time that we are seeing an Oxygen Clock, which is pretty cool. So yeah, this was the last card of today, so let's talk about something else. Yesterday we got introduced to this new vocab, Updraft, and with a name like this, it's very likely that Janna will use it in some way. Thus, she and Nila might be meant to be played together. This makes sense, both Bilgewater and PNZ have a lot of access to draw, and I think drawing cards is how they are representing moving waters for Nila and wind for Janna, at least thematically. Yesterday, we also got a confirmation that both this and the next expansion will only have 3 champions each, meaning after Nila, we can expect 5 more champions this year. However, there are still 6 regions left, so either one region won't get a champion, or one of the champions will be a multi-region champion. Personally, I think the latter would be better because not releasing at least one champion per region in a whole year would be disappointing. And if we are getting another Yordle, Vex would make a lot of sense, especially if she has some synergy with Bard. Since the lonely Chime Slime is introducing chimes to the Shadow Isles region, we might also see portals being introduced as well. Maybe not in cards that are only from the Shadow Isles region. I think making them multi-region would make more sense and would fit more with Vex. Obviously, Nora is the Portal Yordle champion, but this was the teaser for Vex before she was released in League of Legends. And this was during the Sentinels of Light event, so people actually thought that the way the mist was spreading across Runeterra was with the help of the Yordle portals and the new upcoming Yordle, which was Vex. I also want to share this theory that Marshall had. Since Onward is only the first part of the Fates Voyage expansion, that might mean that Volibear won't be the last champion of Onward, as I said in my last video. Instead, he might be the last one from the second part. The Darkin Saga set had Aatrox's blade in its icon, and Aatrox was basically the final boss of that set, being released in the last expansion. So, since this set's icon has Volibear's claw, it would make sense for him to be the final boss of this set. Following this logic, the other champions revealed between Nila and Volibear would either be from regions in Nila's path, like Janna for PNZ, or they would not be tied to this narrative at all, like the Poro King in Heart of the Huntress. Unfortunately, the codes of all the cards of the first part of this set got leaked, and without spoiling too much, I think Volibear might be coming in this expansion and not in the next one. And so what does that mean for the next expansion? Well, maybe the second part of Fates Voyage will tell a completely different story. While the first part focuses on Nila, the second part could focus on another champion. The icon has Volibear's claw, but it also has what seems to be a hooded figure. Maybe Tiari? Or perhaps this hooded figure is Janna and the next part of Fates Voyage will have a new icon. It's really hard to say for sure. The last thing I want to mention is the Deathless keyword, which was leaked some time ago to be released during set 8, and everyone, myself included, was expecting this to be next year. But surprise surprise, we are now in set 8, so the Deathless keyword is back on the table for speculation. To me, this keyword really screams Cartus, no pun intended. So yeah, these were the cards and the theories of today. Tomorrow we should be getting Janna's cards, and the day after Janna herself. Let me know down below, what do you think about all of this? What are your theories for the next champions? Do you think that maybe Bundle City isn't going to get a champion and that we are getting Cartus? Let me know everything down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.